Opening comments, so just be glad to, Thomas will be glad to field your questions, so far away.
Thomas, how easy of a decision was it? I mean, it hasn't been that long ago that you left here.
Right.
But, you had a pretty good job before coming back.
It was probably not as easy as people may assume, just because obviously I got a lot of history here. I grew up in this great state, played here. Had a chance to come back and work as a strength coach a few years ago, but I was in a great spot. I turned on a few jobs this past all season. I was kind of adamant about wanting to stay where I was, come off a good year, but once the job came available, of course there was some interest. I didn't really reach out too much, but I was definitely keeping my phone close to me, just in case I got a call. And when I did get the call, I kind of sat down and talked to my wife about it. And I moved, a bunch over the last few years. And once I left this place, I wanted to put myself in a position that the job did come available. I kind of built my resume and showed what I could do other places outside of here and make it easier to bring me back.
How did that conversation with Coach Rick go when he did call you?
It was a good conversation. It's always good to talk to Coach Rick, and I probably reach out to him, once or twice a year. I talk to him and keep in contact with him. And he asked me, would I have some interest? And I said, Coach, you don't have to ask me if I have some interest. I'm interested. So we kind of talked about the specifics and where I was in the process and what I was thinking. And obviously I expressed to him that, if I was offered the job, I would have extreme interest in it and want to come back. And what I just said to you about my main reason for leaving, because I had a chance initially to GA here, or go take the job at Tennessee Chattanooga. And at that time I didn't want to leave. I just felt it'd be better for me career-wise, like I said, to kind of branch out and learn from some different coaches and build my own personal resume. And once this job came open, hopefully be welcomed back with open arms.
Did you talk to Brian first before you officially said yes, to kind of make sure he was cool with moving the wide receiver, that sort of thing?
I didn't talk to him about that. I always thought that, Brian and I stayed in pretty good contact throughout the years, and we talk about a number of different things, from football to recruits to family stuff. So, we've been pretty close, really ever since I came back as a strength coach and was hanging around him and trying to learn from him. But I did reach out to him and kind of talk to him about the dynamics of the program and what he thought about it. And we did kind of miss a little bit about the scenario that would have to happen for me to come back.
How much exchange of information have you had since then? I mean, obviously the running back situation's gone well since BMAC has been in charge of that position. How do you feel like that transition's going to affect the offense generally?
I think it'll be a smooth transition. I think it helps out with Brian still being here. I have some familiarity with those guys. Obviously, Keith was coming in right when I was leaving out, so I know him a little bit. And, Quavon was kind of the same deal. I met him a couple of times at some camps when I was a strength coach, and come make some jokes with him. But I told the guys when I first met with them that I know a lot more about them than they probably know about me. Because obviously I've had a different jobs in Wisconsin, at Marshall, Georgia State, Tennessee Chattanooga. But I always kept that G up under my, whatever logo I had on. So I followed those guys and tried to keep in contact with them from afar and kind of watch what they were doing, what was going on with them. But it's been well so far. He's done a great job with that room of recruiting and developing those guys. And I got some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited about it. And I think I'll be okay.
Thomas, how much better equipped do you feel to take on this kind of job after your experience the last couple of years, and especially at Wisconsin, coaching Melvin?
Yeah, last year was huge, man. I obviously had a chance to walk into a pretty talented room there. Thomas Hammond left to take the job at the Ravens, and I was able to kind of work some avenues to get a chance to interview for that job, and obviously that interview went well. And it was great to be around a guy like Melvin. I was so talented, but at the same time, show what side there are some humble superstars out there. He was a guy that when I came in could have just told me, shut up and just watch me work. But he was a guy that was very humble and wanted to learn, wanted to grow. So I probably learned as much from him as he probably did from me. So I think it doesn't prepare me for, coaching a high-profile guy, learning how to manage him day in and day out, and really practice reps-wise and making sure he stays as healthy as possible throughout the year.
Thomas, having dealt with that situation with Melvin last year,
Right.
How does that form what you inherit here, which is another star tailback, but also Sony, Keith, Brendan?
Yeah, I was about to say, we're deep here. We got some talented guys, so it's probably makes me proud that I've had the opportunity to play here and be a part of the legacy. Those guys are a whole lot better than I ever was, But I'm excited about having the opportunity to coach them. And I'm a big competition guy. I told them that from day one. I'm not really overly concerned about what you did in the past. I'm going to take it into consideration, but it's a clean slate with me. And every day is gonna be an interview to see what you can do. And I think I became as good as I was because of the competition that I had around me. I had some guys that were, three other NFL tailbacks that wouldn't allow you to take days off. And I kind of consider myself to be a pretty self-motivated guy, but those guys definitely helped remind me of the day that I didn't feel like working, that, hey, if I don't work, he's gonna take my spot. So I kind of expressed that same thing to those guys, but I think having an opportunity last year at Wisconsin to coach those two backs is going to be very special. Obviously, Melvin have a chance to be drafted pretty high, and backup running back Corey is going to be a special player as well. But those prepared me for this opportunity, in my opinion.
You were hired a week ago today. Were you offered the job that same day, or when were you offered?
That same day. And I kind of started having some communication the day before. Brian was the kind of the first one I started talking to a little bit, and then Coach Rick got on the phone with me last Tuesday morning, and we talked through some things, like I said before, and it didn't take me long to take the job. And I probably took an hour to leave home. I want to do things the right way. I went to my head coach there and told him exactly what was going on. And Coach Rick got on the phone with him, and they talked about it. And they just gave me, kind of the day off to go home and get my thoughts together, try to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And like I said, I went home, and my wife dropped the kids off. And we came back home, we sat at the table, and had some conversations about what's going to be best, not just for me career-wise, but us all around as a family. But after that, it was kind of easy decision to make. And my wife's from there. We went to middle school and high school together. She's got more family in Georgia than I do. My parents have moved on now, but they still go back and forth. My sister's still here. I have an aunt and uncle, one cousin, but she's got her mom, her stepdad, her 3 brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. So she was pretty excited about the opportunity as well.